What's up, Warriors fans, and welcome to Warriors Latest. As always, I am your host, Max Arizin. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the show today, as I do post new Warriors videos daily. Now, today, we got to enjoy a bit of rejoicement. Not because anything crazy happened, but we finally got a clear signal to the end of the Jonathan Kuminga debacle. And that wasn't that he signed a new deal or that they're close to coming to terms. It ironically was the fact that Kuminga deleted both his X account as well as his Instagram account. And for you diehards out there, when a player deletes his X and his Instagram account when he's having problems with the team that he's with, whether that be in free agency or for wanting to have a trade, you know deleting those two is the point of no return. There is no going back for the Warriors. There is no bigger offer that they can give Kuminga in order for him to sign. The signs are clear now that it's time to move Kuminga. There is no other option. He's not going to, even if you remove that player option from that 3-year, $75 million deal, as his agent tells that he would accept that, I'm not buying that for a second. Because the fact is, he had $50 million on the table, which is pretty good. And you have, in any contract situation, there has to be some point of compromise. And Kuminga he was compromising, but he wasn't compromising. He was compromising in theory by saying he would accept like a 3-year, $60 million deal with a player option. But let's be honest, he wasn't going to accept that deal, especially after Josh Giddey got $100 million over 4 years guaranteed. At this point, he's just playing games because the thing about being a young player and having that short of a contract, if you have 2 years guaranteed to get something done and make something yourself. If he had a 2-year deal and a player option, all right, he's 22 right now. He's one of the younger players in the league in terms of guys who were drafted in 2021. So he'd be 25, worst case scenario, as a free agent again, and playing at a higher level than he's playing right now. And young players like that that really want to establish that ISO slasher, attack the basket kind of game and be that kind of star, they're going to be in demand in 3 years. So there was nothing wrong with accepting that deal, getting your money, and then just learning how to, I guess, take one for the team to be part of a championship roster once again. You got to remember, when he was the first part of a championship roster in 2022, he was a rookie along with Moses Moody. He did some stuff, but not a lot was expected of him. He was part of the next generation crop that really hasn't panned out. So it's at least enlightening to hear that he's made his decision because you look at the good at the deal for the Warriors. And the good is, you know what? Okay, cards on the table. He's playing his cards like that. It's either one or the other. There is no good negotiation. You either trade me or I'm signing the tender. It does. And end of the day, if you're Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy, you don't want to lose him for nothing. We look at the deals that already were put out there. With the Nick Richards deal and then the Royce O'Neal deal, I feel like if we're going to trade him within the conference, we want to make sure we get more than just a single player. And as I've said before on multiple occasions, you got to get Nick Richards, you got to get Ryan Dunn, you got to get Royce O'Neal as those three. And I didn't realize until just the other day, Royce O'Neal was a standout for the Warriors Summer League team in 2016. So at least there's a little full circle moment for Royce O'Neal. So I do like that, and it's something to sort of get the team motivated and get Royce motivated because he's not the young guy that he was 10 years ago. He is still in his 30s and has a decent-sized contract, but it's something that gets him motivated, him realizing that full circle moment. And plus, with the Warriors, you get those draft assets in the second round, which personally I believe are more valuable than first-round picks because you can get more of them for a cheaper price. And as the talent pool continues to grow, whether it be Basketball Africa, the college level, Euro League, or even the NBA Europe that they start to develop, that they're going to have play against some of the Euro League teams as well. the talent pool is going to get bigger, and those second-round picks are going to be viewed the same way second-round picks are viewed in the NFL. So I take that as a win. Now, granted, do the Warriors have to trade him to the Suns? Do the Warriors have to trade him to the Kings, who are reported to have the most interest in Jonathan Kuminga? No, they don't. And as I've talked about previously, they can trade him to the Washington Wizards and figure out a deal there, and they can trade him to the Atlanta Hawks as well as the Charlotte Hornets or even the Miami Heat and get something back for him. Now, with the Miami Heat, I do believe without a doubt that he will become a great player for the Heat, and that's great for him. As long as he isn't facing the Warriors in the playoffs, I'm happy with it. But that's my biggest concern about trading him within our own conference and just him potentially being a problem down the road. So that's my only idea with that. But the good is the Warriors now know what they have to do. There is no what if moment. It's black and white. It's either sign the tender or trade me. And if you got to deal with that, it's better to lose him for something than nothing at all. So I am happy about that, and thank God he finally did it. Now we have to look at it from the lens of the bad. Now the bad is that the Warriors have let this drag on way too long, and for me, it's just a bad look moving forward. Because the fact is, in 2 years you're having everybody sort of become free agents. You want as much like a crater of cap space because you realize the window is closed. And as has been reported, the Warriors want to go after Giannis, they want to go after Joker, and see if they could team those two up in the Bay. Now, odds are, do I think they'll do it? Maybe, maybe not. But since Coach Kerr did coach the Olympics in Paris, I think they do have a certain level of respect on the system he's trying to run. Yes, he can't exactly develop players, and I know you guys have talked about that a lot, but maybe he's a guy who can just like work with high-level guys and make sure that they work together and really operate as a unit. Because you look at other coaches, not every coach can really lead or I guess coach a superstar to a championship. Steve Kerr has coached the Warriors to 6 title appearances. That says a lot. And you could say the same thing about Popovich, but his successor has not. You look at J.J. Redick, great coach, has not led his team past the first round yet. And there are not a lot of guys who have multiple championship appearances when it becomes a coach. Now, a lot of people give a lot of grief to Phil Jackson on his ability as a coach because he's never really coached bad players. And I'm not saying you're not wrong, but the fact is when he's coached good players, they've succeeded at the highest level. He's won, 5 championships with the Lakers and then 6 with the Bulls. Remember, with Doug Collins, they couldn't get past the Pistons. So I think that says a lot about Coach Kerr's ability. Granted, he still can't develop players, and I know long-term that is going to be an issue, but if the Warriors continue as, say, a team that signs free agent, brings them in the same way the Lakers do, or trades for them the same way the Lakers do, I think they have a good chance at continuing to be great come the end of the dynasty. They'll find other ways to continue the dynasty in their own way, and it's excuse me. And I feel they're going to find a way to maybe give Steph one more year if they continue the dynasty. Now, bottom line is that I'm glad we finally can move past this debacle. The Warriors, all right, we know we have to sign and trade Mike Dunleavy knows he has to sign and trade Kuminga for something. Now you can just focus on the free agents to fill the rest of the roster. Now, as I've said, I want the Warriors to take advantage of those trade exceptions. They can bring in Kelly Oubre for nothing. They can bring in Pacom Dadier for nothing if they decide to trade for him, should the Knicks decide to keep both Landry Shamet as well as Malcolm Brogdon. Now, even if they decide to cut one of those guys and decide to keep the likes of Malcolm Brogdon, they could still use that trade exception in other ways to acquire players. Because on top of that, Alex Len might become a free agent. Malcolm Brogdon might become a free agent. A lot of these guys may become free agents, which will add credence to what the Warriors are doing because they have the most roster spots. Like on the regular season roster, they only have 9 guys guaranteed. So they have 6 roster spots, and that says a lot, especially when these roster crunches are going to happen. So I look forward to the Warriors really taking advantage of certain situations now that they know what they have to do. Now, that's all we have today for Warriors Latest. As always, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you enjoyed the show today. And if you have any potential Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade deals now that we're past the point of no return, feel free to comment below, as I do love hearing your ideas. And as always, go Dubs.